Welcome to the GNS Show, a program designed to enhance mental, physical, and spiritual well-being through science and the wisdom of the ages. Let us take you on a journey of empowerment. Sit back, relax, and get ready to change your life for good.
Generally in science, you start with a theory, and you try to see whether or not you can substantiate the theory, either defend the theory or see that it has no merit. A good science study is you try to disprove yourself as well as prove yourself. And after great effort, if you cannot disprove yourself, then pretty much you've proven your point. Well, the point was this. Is it possible that the reason that we lose our hair and our skin gets droopy and wrinkled, and our nails get brittle and fungusy and chipped, and our gums bleed easily as we age, is because we have done so little to feed the immune system that we've weakened our overall biochemistry, and that we've created multiple local infections. And because of these multiple local infections, what happens is when we do take in nutrition, we're not taking in enough nutrition to make an enormous difference.
No, I think it's a natural aging process.
I also don't think that nutrition can change baldness. That I think baldness is in the genes.
Throughout history, men and women have been concerned about their hair for religious reasons, for social reasons, for interpersonal reasons, for grooming. Sometimes it's long, sometimes it's short, sometimes it's bald. Well, one thing's for sure, no one looks forward to getting bald. No one's happier when they're gray than when they were not gray. And people don't like looking down at their feet in the shower and seeing a clop of hair. So I've simply asked a basic question. Is it possible, using major changes in our diet, lifestyle, and exercise and stress management, to reverse, slow down, or in some way limit this process?
I think it's genetic. I started losing my hair when I was 18.
No, I don't think nutrition would play a part in reversing balding or reducing the balding process or graying hair. No.
Science says no, you can't do that. If it's in the genes, then it's inevitable. And indeed, up to this point, it has been inevitable. Yes, there's been some small change for those taking some of the medications, but the change is almost incidental. It's little peach fuzz that you'll get on your hair, but you pay a price. There are frequently side effects. It's a medication.
When I started the study, my hair was falling out at a pretty fast rate, and it was turning gray. I was on the Rogaine treatment for 5 years, and the reason I had to stop it, my blood pressure went up excessively. And I was very frustrated. This seemed to be the last stop.
The reason, again, why I wanted to look into this problem I had, which was falling hair or shedding hair, and scaly scalp, and somewhat of irritations at the temples and on the crown. So the first thing I did was that I went to a dermatologist just to get some consultation, and she told me that I had eczema, dermatitis of sorts, and that she gave me one direction. She said there's a hot product in the market called minoxidil, and that I should try it, and that there should be some results from that. I took her prescription and I had it filled, and I tried it several months, but I did not see any results. And not that I thought it was a waste of money, but it was an attempt, and I did not see any results.
Well, I want to see, could I use no medications, no magic panacea, no silver bullet, nothing that you wipe on the body, no salves or potions or shampoos, but instead rebuild the body chemistry.
I came to the hair study group because I was losing, my hair was falling out, it was white all over, and I came to get in the study to try to help that.
I came to the hair study because I had graying hair and I was losing some of my hair on the side.
I started noticing my hair falling out about 29, 30. Actually, it was thinning quite a bit up front and in the back.
I started a hair protocol. I was in need of, my hair was thinning very badly in the front part here, to the point that I started visiting the hair club for men and so forth. And upon my visit there, they were going to patch my hair with some other hair or do a transplant, and it was just undesirable, so I decided to forego it and just be left with going bald, the male pattern baldness.
I went to a barber and I had my hair dyed in very strong dye. And not long after that, my hair started falling out.
And I knew that I'd already gone through everything, including a dermatologist who had diagnosed that I had androgenic alopecia and telogenic effluvium, which basically means I had some androgenic hair loss, and a lot of my hair was falling out before it should have. Hairs that were only an inch long were falling out, as well as full-length hairs. I even took cortisone scalp shots because I was in such dire straits, because I lost about 70% of my hair.
My hair was gray and thinning and receding at the forehead on both sides. And this prompted me to join the hair study.
If your gene is here that predisposes you to graying, thinning, and balding, and your diet and lifestyle is here, and if you're eating what is considered the all-American diet, even taking some supplements, and you haven't improved, then what you have to do to get above the genetic predisposition, in effect, you exceed the genetic threshold. You create a new biochemical paradigm. That's the purpose of the study. That's what we're going to explore in our documentary. I'm Gary Null. Join us now as we take an in-depth look at hair growth, a natural approach. Can you find a correlation between what a person eats, their diet, their health, and their hair?
Oh, definitely. I see when they eat well, their hair is shiny, it's healthy looking, and it shows. It's a reflection of the way they eat and the habits they have and whether they're well rested. And they seem to show everything on the hair.
In traditional Chinese medicine, hair is viewed as the sign of health of the kidneys, liver, and blood. And so if you have healthy hair, you have healthy kidneys, liver, and blood, and healthy energy in the body.
In America today, there's an overabundance of junk food, processed food, low energy food, and caffeine, sugar, foods that people become allergic to, wheat and others, especially also dairy and cheeses. So that the elimination of these is very helpful, not just to grow more hair, but to be healthier and to have a totally better longevity and a healthier lifespan.
When something goes wrong, and so many things could go wrong, and as alternative physicians and clinicians, we have to look at the whole picture and not just the symptom of hair loss. And there's so many things that can go wrong, whether it's an autoimmune response when the body begins to attack its own cells, whether it's a accumulation of too much debris in the scalp, whether it's an infection on the scalp, or whether it's too much chemicals on the hair from all of the hairspray and the blow drying and the abuse from the environment because of the chemicals in the air. There's a loaded effect in everything that we do when we live in this society with the pesticides that we eat and the depleted soils, that we have to constantly replenish the body and allow the cells and the biochemistry of the body to function optimally at all times. And that's not taking one vitamin a day. It's totally impossible to do that. You have to constantly replenish the system with nutrients at all time in order for everything to work optimally.
The hair and skin are the last on the list of priorities. Your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your brain, your liver, these are primary. So the body in its own innate knowledge says, if I have all these infections and I have all these cancer cells and all these viruses and bacteria, whatever does come in, I have to selectively take what I can and fight those battles first. If anything should be left over, then I'll give it to the hair. Well, the average American never has anything left over. They're always drawing more out of their body than what they're putting in. There's always a greater assault against the body than the benefits to the body.
For hair health and overall general body health, what you want to do is to consume about 6 12-ounce glasses of freshly prepared green juice a day. And greens can be mixed in a variety of substances. You want to use organically grown vegetables. The organically grown vegetables, first of all, are going to be free of pesticide, chemical residues, artificial fertilizers, etc. But also, because of the fact that the soil in organic farming is very vital, very alive, and mineral and nutrient rich, the vegetables grown in this soil are going to be far more vital and far more health promoting than standard commercially produced vegetables.
Your hairs are fed through the bloodstream, so if there's any deficiencies in that area, it will be carried through with your hair, your skin. And whether you lose it, you can lose more, or it could be dull or brittle. So nutrition has an effect on everything in your body, and your hair is it's an appendage of what's going on. You can tell deficiencies in who you are through your hair.
I would assume for thinning hair, maybe in some cases it might have an effect. Nutrition would have an effect.
No. I think it's strictly hereditary and in your genes.
Can you tell when a person smokes and drinks and is overweight and they eat garbage? Can you see it in the hair?
Oh, yes, definitely. When they have medication, when they've had an operation, everything shows on your hair. They seem, if they eat well, their hair is well. If they're sick, their hair is sick. It's sort of reflection.
A healthy person has healthy hair.
Here's the body's immune system. On a scale of 1 to 100, diet makes up about 15%. Exercise, about 15%. Supplements and juices and herbs, about 10%. Stress management, 10%. Our belief systems, our values, 50%. When any one of those is out of balance or deficient, then we suffer. So if you've been processing illness and disease with negative thoughts and anxiety and stress and environmental pollution and not living a life that you should and being in relationships that are unhealthy and working in environments that are toxic, now on the disease side, you're up around 50, 60. But altogether, your immune system is maybe 30. So you're never going to be able to get healthy enough by doing just what most people do or what your doctor tells you to do to exceed your disease level. So what I did was I had to make major changes, radical changes in behavior, in stress management, in exercise, in detoxifying and cleansing the system, cleaning up their home environment, cleaning up their diet, getting rid of all sugar and meats, anything with a heartbeat or a face, getting rid of dairy and wheat and all the refined carbohydrates and deep fried foods and preservatives and pesticides. They had to get rid of all of it. Caffeine, alcohol, get rid of all of it. I'm not saying moderation, I'm saying none was allowed. Now, in the place of all this that was taken out, that at least stops the body burden from being overwhelmed chronically. And then in its place, you put things that are enlivening, building, enhancing both the immune system and overall metabolism. Their weight came down. One guy lost 100 pounds. Energy levels went up. They detoxified. So what we saw was they started off here on disease and nutrition, and over a period of 9 months, it shifted because they potentized. And once they exceeded the disease level, way up they went. So the more people did, the more they benefited. So the theory was, can we exceed our disease level with the type of program that we could implement? The proof is in the results. Listen to what the people have to say.
About 10 years ago, I had hair transplants. The process took about 8 months. In the third session, I started to notice that the hairline at the front was starting to lose density. I spoke to the doctor about it, and he didn't seem to know what to do about it.
Hair is such a means of expression that some people feel by the loss of it, they lose a certain amount of that expressiveness. So they try to compensate by various wigs or plugs or any other means that to cover that up.
I had an investment in my plugs.
Well, people react to hair in different ways. I mean, yeah, like New York is actually nice for that, because in New York you can kind of like wear any kind of hair that you want. Then people pretty much treat you the same way. In some different places, it's kind of like the hair is like the first thing that someone sees, so they already like make a judgment out of that. Yeah.
It's got to be easy. Luckily, I have some stuff going on with the gray, so it looks kind of fun. But basically, like it's short, simple, in, out. Do this, I'm done.
I was interested in the program because I was losing hair in this area on both sides, and I also wanted my hair was getting white, so I wanted to be a little darker. So I joined the program, and following his protocol and the changes in the diet and much more, because his philosophy is very good, it's very positive in so many ways. And I got results. My hair is growing all around this area. It's growing. The color of the hair is much better, much darker now. And my hair is thick and very healthy.
Okay, I joined the hair study program so that I can have the gray hair turn black when I heard Gary spoke about it on the radio. And it was very good experience for me. I started in the program about a year now. I kept up with the program by juicing every morning, making sure I have my 6 green glasses of juice, taking all the supplements, and doing some exercises, as he said. However, I noticed that my hair, the texture of my hair changed. Also, that the gray were no longer spreading all over the head. And the part right at the temple that had dropped off before I joined the program, I noticed hair started growing. But as I kept looking, I noticed instead of coming back white, it was getting black. So I have little black scattered hairs all over by the temple area.
I don't have any falling out of hair as I used to, which is terrific for the drain in the bathroom. And I felt that my hair got more body, stronger, and it's growing much better. I'm impressed. Humorously, I must say that there's even additional growth in my ears.
My hair, which had sometimes fallen out in the shower or when I comb it, has stopped completely from falling out. I don't know what happens. I mean, it doesn't ever seem to leave my head unless it's being cut. And it's cut more frequently now, so that's one thing.
I took chlorophyll powder 6 or 7 times a day with good water, and the aloe vera, the whole leaf aloe vera. And that seems to have worked the best. At times my hair has a much greater shine. At times it looks more alive. It actually, when I work with it now, it looks like it's part of me, which I thank the program too.
I noticed that the white hair was breaking off, and brown hair, dark brown hair, was coming out in the place where the white hair was. And of course I had a bald spot. And a few little sprigs in there, but it didn't get long. And the hair looked more lively. And all of the hair in the back turned brown just about. But what I do, I comb the hair on the side up over my bald spot, so that's why the white hair is at the top, where the brown hair is. But I also got hair on my arms. I never had any hair on my body. My body was perfectly clear. But now I got hair coming out on my arms, and the mustache grows too fast.
The sides of my hair start to grow out, and my hair started to turn color. It regained its color back. Darker, but it regained its color back.
I guess the best thing that happened was why I'm going to keep it up forever, especially the green foods, is that I have living, growing hair that turned from gray to brown. And I was starting to pull out some gray hairs around framing my face. And I've decided to stop doing that because I did it a few times, and I wound up finding out that they were brown at the roots. When I looked at them and they were up here, they were gray, but down here they weren't. Today, I would say that 75 to 80% of my hair has grown back in and continues to grow back in. After having followed Gary's program for a subsequent 9 months, I realized that with the addition of all of the green chlorophyll foods, that made a tremendous difference.
For me, it was amazing results, even though my hair is not fully, it's not filled in fully, but I had amazing results. In terms that my hair is richer, in terms of color and thickness, and I'm able to comb it and brush it, and it's not falling out anymore. It's no longer thin. The strands have come back.
One thing I've noticed is that the sides and the back has grown more rapidly than before the protocol has started.
When I don't shave on the weekends, I notice that my mustache is coming in black, and my cheeks and underneath my chin is coming in black, whereas it was white before. And I feel very good.
Around the 4th and the 5th month, I started noticing that my hair was falling out less and less. My eyebrows were no longer falling out, and my skin was not as pale as it used to be. Like around the 6th month, that's when I looked in the mirror one morning and I saw this white pale fuzz on the top of my forehead. And then I looked and I had actually had new hair coming in. And my hair was also falling out a lot less. There were just a few strands in the bottom of the basin every time after I was finished washing my hair.
I'm happy to say that the hairline in the front has started to fill in again. My results have been good. They've not been spectacular, but I didn't lose the hair all at once, so I don't expect to get it back all at once.
My hair is much fuller. The areas are basically just growing in.
The color of my hair is much improved. The texture, I had real dry, brittle type Brillo kind of hair. And it's changed considerably. I'm very pleased with the changes I've seen in my hair growth.
I haven't noticed any appreciable growth on the top of my head, but I have noticed that my beard has begun to darken dramatically.
But it has gotten lighter and much darker, thicker, more vibrant. Texture is different.
I can take a shower and not a drop of hair gets into that drain now. Not a drop. I can comb my hair and there's no hair on my comb.
I start having new hair growth in the back and in and around my temples. Also, my gray hairs in my temples have disappeared, which is a nice thing. And generally, I feel good all over. I sleep about an hour less, and I have a much higher energy level.
This is the first time I've been honored to view the protocol for Gary Null's hair study, and it seems that all the bases here are covered. When I spoke earlier about the chlorophyll, how important chlorophyll is in the green drinks, he has more than amply met that requirement with 6 scoops of chlorophyll-rich powder spaced throughout the day. Now, in a free radical pathology, what is going on is that a molecule loses a hydrogen electron. And what it does is it attack other healthy cells, sort of like if you can picture a Pac-Man, trying to regain that electrical balance. And in doing so, it destroys healthy cells, and that's what's called a free radical pathology. What an antioxidant can do is lend a free radical, a hydrogen molecule, without destroying itself. So the free radical pathology is stopped within its track. However, once that pathology begins, they duplicate themselves by the billions within a minute. So the antioxidants have to constantly be replenished throughout the day. According to this protocol, that's precisely what's being done.
My daily routine is when I wake up in the morning, my first thing I do is I have to walk the dog Jenny, because once you wake up, you have to take her out. While I'm walking the dog, I will do my breathing exercises while she smells practically every blade of grass. When I return to the house, I give her fresh water, her cabbage, her cucumbers and cauliflower and broccoli. As soon as I'm finished with her, I go straight to my meditation, because I must meditate every day. It relaxes me, it sets the tone, sets the pace, and it makes my mind light and fresh, so I can meet the challenge of the day. At 12 o'clock, I listen to Gary Noel Natural Living talk show. It gives me the midday boost.
But we frequently don't have the confidence to say that. We become so intertwined in multiple convoluted codependencies. And then one day you wake up and you realize all the games, and you just stop it. You put the brakes on, you say, there's got to be more to living than making a living. There's got to be more to life than all the problems and hardships that I've been immersed in. There's got to be a purpose and meaning that's unique to myself. What is it?